Well, good morning and welcome back to Little French Homestead. My name is Sherry. If you are new here today, I am here at my desk. This is a project that I have been desperately putting off for a while. This here is all of my recipes that are tried and true here in my family. And my last one broke. I had to get a new calendar here. My wonderful kitty, you can see all right here. She knocked over my soda. Now, if it was water, it wouldn't have been a big deal, but it was soda. And she destroyed it. So it's all sticky and gross. It was a 2-year calendar. So unfortunately, yesterday I had to go buy a brand new one and transfer all that stuff over. I do like to keep them for at least another full year before I get rid of them in case there was anything in particular that I have to have on there. And then these are some of the recipes that I've done already. Oops, sorry. Our brand new kitten is playing with one of her toys right here. Let me a second. Let me just move their little toy over for her. These are like tried and true. This is the chicken crock pot salsa verde that I did. But then here's another one that I have on the menu coming up. These are the chocolate chip cheesecake bars that I want to do. My mom does have a recipe. She had given me a lot of her recipes that she has doctored and used throughout my life. And she gave me that recipe. There are friends' recipes. There are family recipes that she's gotten. And then there's just other recipes that she has found that she enjoys. I am going to be working on getting those recipes into a printable PDF so you can download those through my channel, but we are slowly working on everything else first. I have so many things that I have coming up in this year, but I have to focus on one at a time. So my binder, as you see here, has fully busted out of the seams, okay? So what I am planning on doing is still keeping all of this stuff in here, but I'm going to be transferring it to a bigger binder. This binder here was, I think, maybe like a 1-inch. This is now I think a 3-inch. So it's going to give me plenty more play for me to add what I need to do to it. So this is how I keep my stuff separated. So you'll see here that I'll do like appetizers, breakfasts, soups, lunches, and then I'll do dinners. And they can categorize as in pork, chicken, beef, then any sides, desserts, and then anything else after that. So like your breads and your doughs and stuff. And then I put this right here in the front, and then I can very easily go. So last year, like this, for instance, I did a fried pickled dip. We actually do use this during family gatherings. This year, well, last year in 2025, for Thanksgiving and Christmas, we actually decided as a family not to do any appetizers. Not saying that there was anything wrong from that, but my wonderful children absolutely love, like shrimp cocktail, deviled eggs, all this sorts of, wonderful appetizers. And then when we go sit down to actually eat dinner, because we usually eat sometime between like 1, 2, maybe 2:30 at the latest. This year we had between 1 and 2. And they would normally go ahead and eat all of the, chips and salsa and, any other things that we brought. And then they were not hungry for the actual dinner. And I says, well, why don't we go ahead and just, do no appetizers this year. And we can just eat a little early. So that's what we did this year. Because we usually, like I said, it's a pretty good spread. We've done chips, salsa, cheese, crackers, pepperoni. We've done the pigs in a blanket. We've done the shrimp cocktail. We've done this. So, we usually do enough. And there's usually only about 7 to 9 of us here. And then we'll wait like an hour and then we'll eat. And everybody's we all agreed, not this year, which is fine. Oh, look at that. I found one of my other notebooks that I thought I lost. Finding everything in here. So I'm just going to take my little time and I'm going to go through this and I'm going to reorganize and I'm going to put it in here. I do have some sheet protectors for the new recipes. Now, I'm not saving every single recipe that we've done. There are several recipes in here that we actually, as a family, really enjoy. I did one year, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but in 2024, I literally wrote down everything that we had between either whether we went takeout, it was somebody's birthday and we went out to the restaurant, and whether it was a leftover night and I actually had something planned, but we had too much leftovers. I literally wrote everything all down for a full year. And when I showed it to my son not too long ago, before I made up my menu for the month of January, he's like, wow, because we haven't had, tomato soup and grilled cheese sandwiches for a while. And we usually love that. So, because we are in a pantry challenge, what I did is I went through and I just put the menu up here. Now, this menu, I have to say, is super easy. However, I've had to print this menu like 5 times. We got 5 cats in our house, just so you're aware. And 2 of the cats like to knock over any drink that you have on the table. And twice it got ruined by drinks falling on the table. So the other day when I printed out 2. I put 1 over here and I kept 1 at the coffee table because that's sometimes where I usually play with menus, or I'll do some kind of like bill pays and stuff like that instead of coming over here because I do have a lot of it on my phone. And my cat who knocked over the soda, ruined the menu. So I have this menu here. I will take a little bit more of a picture of it, but you can kind of see here what we are having. So today is actually Thursday, and today is the sheet pan bratwurst with some onions and peppers. Now, I haven't filmed that yet as we're speaking right now, but when I do, that way you'll know today is January 8th. You guys will see this video a little later today. Normally I have at least a week's worth of videos up in advance, but because I'm doing the pantry challenge and I'm trying to make sure that some of the stuff that I film is some of those same days. So yesterday, I haven't posted this video yet, we did a crock pot gumbo, and the gumbo was absolutely phenomenal. It really was. But I personally think that next time I'm going to do that, instead of adding the raw onions in, Because even though I love onions and I love eating them raw, but when I have onions that are still like steamed, I'm not a fan of that. So I think the next time I make the gumbo, I'm going to really get those onions nice and caramelized first. Then I will add them into that gumbo. But other than that, it was delicious. But we will have it with rice. We just had enough rice a couple of days before with the last couple of meals, so I didn't want to do another thing of rice. But then Friday night is pizza night, and then Saturdays we pretty much just did it's leftovers or you're on your own. At least then that way, when you do your pantry challenge and you make your menu out, because what you want to really do is go through all of your refreezers, your refrigerator, even in the refrigerator freezer, because I found a few things in there that I didn't know I had. Your pantry, your back stock, if you can, all of your canning stuff, and then make out a menu for this month, or you can do it as of next month for the pantry challenge. It usually does 2 months. You are allowed to get it's customized to you. So like if you need to go ahead and still go to the store to get milk, get creamer, baby food, baby formula, if you don't make your own, or, any fresh fruits and some vegetables for the children or something like that. Oh, please do, set a certain amount aside, but it's trying to make sure that you use your stuff that you haven't had in a while, For instance, this past weekend, I had a container full, I use the deli containers, the 32-ounce deli containers. I had a thing of chili in there, so we had the chili. This week, I've got a container of the chicken taco soup that I made up. We hadn't gone through that, so we're gonna pop that open this weekend, and if it'll be eaten up. So what it is making sure that you clean everything all out. You don't want to waste any food. So many people waste their food throughout the year. I've been certainly one to go ahead and buy something, think I'm going to make something, and then it goes bad by the time I realize it, or it gets hidden, when you start throwing stuff in your refrigerator and stuff. So, I'm guilty of it too. I totally am. But this makes you see it when you do your inventory. You move stuff around and then you go ahead and take a look. It's also meant to prevent you from going to the store to buy anything to stock up. So, except for your stuff that you normally would. And so it's gotten me to look at a few things. So like I said, so today is bratwurst. We've had those in there for about a month and a half now in the freezer. And we're just going to put it on that. And then I do have some hot dog rolls. If you want a hot dog roll it, you can do that too. And it's just going to be with potato chips. I thought I had another bag of French fries, but I did not. And I'm not buying French fries just to go ahead and make that meal. So I will go ahead and link this down, or not link it, but I can take a picture of it toward the end and show you. But this is what we're trying to do. So any recipes that are 100%, our family absolutely loves it, then it's going to go in this book. If our families, because we're 5 of us, so sometimes we'll take a vote. And if the vote is like a 3-2, then I'll save it if there's 3 yeses, and if there's 3 no's and 2 yeses, then sometimes I'll just pitch it. Yes, I usually 90% of the time have it already on my Pinterest. I've got like 13,000, or not that much, but close to about 1,300 recipes on Pinterest. So if by some chance I do want to go ahead and pull it off, I certainly will. But like I said, I'm going to go through all this. Oh, there was my Azure Standard book. See, that was my sales flyer for January. I'll put that video down below, but I got my first Azure Standard order, and it was absolutely phenomenal. I absolutely love that service. They did everything wonderful. My drop coordinator was a sweet woman. There was like 3 other people there that were all their first timers. You go there and you just help unload. Actually, we didn't have to unload too much because a lot of the other heavier stuff was like other people's bulk, like flour or sugar or oats or something like that. So we did not have to help if we did not like able to. So there was one of the older ladies who was really unable to help. I started unloading and then the driver was like, no, I'll go ahead and give you a hand because it really wasn't too much. And it was like less than a half a pallet and we were done. I mean, I was there in and out within like 10 minutes. That was wonderful. All right, so let me go ahead. Oh, this was going over here. We have 2 areas. We have 2 desks. I have one here that this is my work from home, and then my husband has his computer desk. So he, plays his video games on that and stuff like that. But this here is a work desk. But it has fallen into disrepair. And then also too, I have several areas where I have, I have several areas of, what do you call it? Of like videos that I plan on doing throughout this coming year. And so I've already like printed out what I want to say, what the video is going to be about, my opening, my closing and stuff like that. I'm not always prepared like that, but there are some times where I'd like to go ahead and have a written like speech and stuff. And then there's other times like if I'm doing a live one, then I don't do that. I just talk and sometimes I forget what I'm going to say until I'm all done and I wrap it up. All right, so let me go ahead and get going on this. And when I'm done, I'll just kind of like bring you back real quick on how I do everything. All right, so now we have finished up. There is so much here. I stacked them in order of how I'm gonna put them in. And boy, oh boy, I tell you, our family likes a lot of chicken. I have so much chicken, it's not even funny. I did have to get rid of quite a bit. I didn't realize that there was some of them that there were doubles. So as I was getting rid of some of the doubles, I've got a stack over here. And I just can't believe how much that I got. So this is absolutely phenomenal. It's like, my breakfast sausage, some French toast, a quiche, even though quiche can be done for both breakfast and dinner or even a lunch. I am putting it with breakfast. We just have a lot of here. And I did not know that. The noise in the background you hear is the kitten playing with one of the roundabout toys. And she's just having fun. So, I mean, we've got here the broccoli, the broccoli cheddar soup. We've got the tortilla soup. I've got a meatball tortellini soup. Just organizing everything, trying to get it all into what I need. All right, so I don't really have too much in for lunches, which is fine. I got like pork chop marinades and stuff. So I don't have any. Well, I do have a couple of pork chop recipes, but I'm getting ready to do one. We had it already one time before. I didn't show the video of it because I wasn't sure how it was going to come out. Sometimes I make the video, and if it doesn't come out right, then I don't show it. Or if, sometimes I'm just, it's too fast. You know, I got to get things done. You know, my husband has to go to work by a certain time. And sometimes I just don't want to do the video, even though I know I should. And that was one of the recipes that I really should have done that video. It was a pork tenderloin sandwich, and that was delicious. Should have done that video for it, but that's okay. I do have it coming up on the pantry challenge. That video, that was phenomenal. Everybody loved it. We did it on a nice brioche bun. They had a buy one, get one free over at my local store. It was really super delicious. So I'm just putting all these all in here. I did actually come across a couple of them that I had like maybe printed out an extra copy when I went to go make it, because maybe I couldn't find it in this mess, which, you know, is okay. There's a lot of mess here going on. This here is, oh, I went straight to sides. Nope. All right, so we're gonna do that's all chicken. How did I have that set up in the beginning? Let me go back and look real quick. So, So pork is number 5, chicken's number 6, and beef is number 7. So pork is number 5. So there's my pork. 6 is chicken. All right, so we're gonna stick pork and sausage together because, hey, they're all from one animal, the pork and the sausage. So we're gonna stick all that together. And then the beef, we will stick at the end of the chicken in its own little form. All right, perfect. All right. So, I mean, for beef, it's gonna be like Hamburger Helper. I have P.F. Chang's Mongolian beef. Got the lasagna in here. And then I just got a beef marinade, just to stick it in there. I don't really want to do a separate one for marinades. I've got one that's already going for sauces. I didn't realize that I had printed off a bunch for sauce. So instead of getting rid of those, I'm going to go ahead and keep those. They are just loving that toy down there. That is awesome. All right. So now this is all of my sides. So we're going to stick that with this. So I do, obviously, I love Chef Gordon Ramsay. So we got him with a couple of them. We got him with the pasta and we got him with the risotto. This is our go-to for our Thanksgiving dinners. This is a sausage and herb stuffing. I make that all from scratch. I do the bread. You know, I'll take a couple of day-old bread. I'll toast it. I'll make the sausage and everything. That's delicious. And then I've got then these. We love zucchini here at our house. When I do zucchini, most of the times I just usually throw it on a cookie sheet and bake it in the oven, you know, with some summer squash, potatoes, onions, carrots, stuff like that. I was making this one here so often that everybody asked me to stop for a little while. I might make a video on it. It's a crispy chicken, it's a crispy stuffed zucchini boat. These are really good, especially if you want to do like a no meat Monday. We've got then some Parmesan crisps and some baked zucchini, like almost like in French fries kind of thing. So let me go back to sides and put that all in here. I have my Chef Joe's macaroni and cheese. That is my family's all-time favorite. When I tell my kids that I'm getting ready to make homemade mac and cheese, they absolutely love it. So that is that's the go-to. I am going to be trying to make a tiramisu. I've never made one before. We have one of my daughters. She has a friend of hers who she got this recipe, and it's from a, real Italian. She is Italian, but this really came over from Italy, and she's made it now twice for us. She is a 13-year-old girl, and that absolutely came out divine. My mother even has said, because we have an aunt who was real Irish, like Irish, and she's like, your aunt would be super proud of that one. It was so good. So I asked her for the recipe so I can make it here, and I do plan on making it soon. So I am almost done here. I'm just now putting in my 2 ingredients, biscuits and my bread. This was actually really very good that I got this done, because I have been trying to get this done now for a little while. And obviously with Christmas and the New Year, there was just no way that I could go ahead and take care of that. I am putting my last one in here, which is homemade pastrami, and that I will go ahead and do a video on soon. But boy, this is now my binder. We went from, where did I stick it? Oh, I stuck it right here. Hold on one second. We went from this tiny little thing, come on, this tiny little thing to this little thing. That is how bad. And then even still, these are some of the recipes that we are not going to really do again, or it was just like almost like a one-time kind of thing. Again, you got children, you know how picky they are. I have twin girls that are very picky. I have a son who is also kind of, they love their vegetables, that is awesome, and they love their proteins and stuff in their sides, but they're particular on some of them are sides. I got one child who only likes mashed potatoes. I like one kid that only likes rice. I got another child that will only eat white rice or my mixes. He doesn't like the store-bought, like rice-a-roni mixes and stuff like that. He's not a fan of those. So he will enjoy mine. So it's funny on what I can get away with and what I can do. That's why sometimes if I do like a crock pot video, I can kind of throw in some stuff and they really don't notice too much. When I did the Frito pie crock pot video, one of my daughters, she found a bean in it. They don't like beans. And so I was like, no, it's part of the hamburger. Well, she did turn a light on and it was beans. I was trying to pull a fast one on her. But anyway, so I just want to say thank you so much for allowing me to do all this with you. This was super fun. I'm just going to go ahead and just finish straightening up here, and we're going to move on to our next video. Again, I have done all of my wonderful recipes. This is for a full month of my pantry challenge videos and the recipes that I want to cook. I've got 2 cats running around chasing each other. I've got several other videos that I have planned that I will do out throughout the course of the next couple of months. So I just want to say thank you so much for being here today. If you do like some of these videos, make sure you go ahead, like, share, but most importantly, go ahead and subscribe. And as always, keep on cooking. Bye.